So now that the NHL playoffs have started, we can look at some various tall tales of NHL playoff history that some people really know about and some people know nothing. Now, if you're a casual fan of the NHL, you probably watching it because maybe you find a couple of players nice looking, you like your hometown team. But in Canada, something we look forward to every year, and it usually plays out on the faces of the playoff participants, it's of course the infamous playoff beard. Now, in layman's terms, a playoff beard is usually a beard of superstition. According to legend, which kind of built in the 60s, 70s, and was fully documented in the 1980s, you don't change your luck in the playoffs. Tony Esposito talked about that. He had a whole bunch of talesmans. You don't shave during the playoffs until you lose. You keep the beard, and the more you keep the beard, the better you play. It works as a good luck charm. Now, the superstitious practice of male athletes, maybe women can grow beards, I don't know. Who knows? I'm not a hormonal expert on that. But it's usually they don't shave during the playoffs. Now, playoff beards first came to kind of major prominence in the late 70s, early 80s, in my opinion, with minor hockey and senior hockey squads. I remember the North Shore Senior Hockey League, different minor pro leagues. I was seeing more facial hair on players in the playoffs. Now, what this does because of superstition, or the fact was maybe they're so tired from the playoff game they didn't have time to shave. However, by now in 2021, they're becoming an annual tradition, not just in hockey but in numerous sports. Now, many fans of pro sports teams also grow playoff beards. I grew one in the '93 playoff run for Montreal. It's the longest I've ever had it, actually. Now, to have a playoff beard, the player stops shaving when his team enters the playoffs, usually mid-April for hockey players back in the day, and does not shave until the team is eliminated or wins the Stanley Cup or equivalent championship. Could be Calder Cup or whatever. Now, according to published reports, and I was in the media back then, I don't remember this, I thought it started with the Islanders, because obviously with Gillies, Goring, and a few others, they had a lot of facial hair going on. Again, according to published reports, the 84-85 Detroit Red Wings were the first team documented to wear them. Wings forwards Yvonne Bolarev and Danny Gare began to practice, according to the report, in January '85, trying to inspire the team to win 4 straight games. Now, defenseman Brad Park, who was clean-shaven most of his career, a hero of Summit 72, called it his playoff beard, thus coining the phrase from Detroit Free Press, published February 3rd, 1985, article by Bernie Sarnecki. Now, sometime in the 1980s, before or after, depending on who you're talking to, the New York Islanders also decided to do so. I think it was done in the early 80s, but it wasn't really thought about as a big story. Now, according to Islander Mike Bossy, it was likely started by his great teammate Butch Goring. The tradition is also practiced by nearly all North American hockey leagues, including high school leagues and the NCAA, as well as minor league affiliates. Now, according to some observers, one may trim the beard after loss, an effort to change the team's luck, and Jim Dowd and the great Roberto Luongo have been examples of players who did this. Now, again, the '85 Red Wings, again, were the first team documented to wear them. Now, in 1980, what was kind of weird, the Hall of Famer Dennis Potvin says the Islanders in the 1980s would play 4 games and 5 nights in the first round, and it was just something that kind of happened. Now, the Islanders included 2 Swedish players, Stefan Persson and Anders Galore, so it is possible that tennis champion Bjorn Borg's custom of not shaving his beard during Wimbledon, which he had been doing for several years by that time, was an influence on the start of the practice in hockey. Now, some players have said that the beard is more a reminder of team unity and a way to get the player thinking about the playoffs from the moment he looks in the mirror in the morning. The 2009 Red Wings used the slogan, "The beard is back," for the final series of their 2009 Stanley Cup run. They played the Pittsburgh Penguins in the final that year, which was actually won by Pittsburgh, in which most of the players on both teams and the owner of the Penguins, Mary Lemieux, grew beards. And of course, we saw Sidney Crosby's wispy beard, and as we like to say in Nova Scotia, it was what they call not a man beard. Anyway. Now, in 2009, the Beardathon campaign was launched to encourage fans to grow their own playoff beards for charity. In its first 4 years, more than 22,000 NHL fans participated in the Beardathon and raised over $2 million for charities. Now, the only person to my memory, besides some co-workers I had with the Hamilton Tribune and the Bugle Observer, mostly women, who said this, and I kid you not, in 2015, in June of that year, Mark Lazarus, the mental misfit chairman of NBC Sports, which was also the U.S. right holder of the league as of 2021, told the Chicago Tribune that he had been lobbying the NHL to discourage the practice, arguing that it hinders the ability for viewers to recognize players. Well, yeah, they're paying to show it, but, do you think the fans are that stupid? Mark Lazarus, if you ever want to contact me, I can tell you what playoff beards really mean. Playoff beards have nothing to do with NBC Sports, because NBC Sports doesn't really cover hockey to the level it should compared to CBC and even CTV and TVA and TQS and Sportsnet and TSN and RDS and TVA. I leave it there. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to grow a playoff beard, if you can't grow one, build your own. Use some, paper or some glue, and shave the dog and put it on. Whatever it takes, ladies and gentlemen, for your favorite team. But I met Brad Park at the alumni game in Woodstock for the Boston Bruins veterans. Never asked him. I didn't have a chance because I was too busy watching Brad Park stopping John Winsick from hitting me because I was wearing my hat backwards, and Winsick, who said I look like a gang member, shouldn't have been allowed to do that in the ice, even though the digital camera photos that was taken made sure I had to have the hat backwards. Anyway, I was too busy worrying about John Winsick jumping me than asking Brad Park that question. Did you come up with the idea for the playoff beard? And knowing Brad Park, man, God, he's a legend. Anybody traded from the Rangers to Boston and can almost win a cup. Brad Park is again one of the icons of hockey, so I wouldn't be surprised if he came up with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing with our specialty Sports File Vintage podcast, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And again, wear your playoff beard with pride, but if you want to trim it, don't tell nobody. Have a good day. Bye.